Korean Zombie officially announcing his retirement from fighting. He left the gloves in the octagon at UFC Singapore. And what a career it was by this guy. He never won the title, but he was certainly opportunistic, taking advantage of wins against Renato Moicano. That was probably the height of his career. I think Renato was like number 5 at the time. He beat him. He jumps into the top 5, and then he had some huge fights, even an opportunity at the title. But he couldn't capitalize. And then, since just saying he's not there to fight for anything but the title. And now that the opportunities have slipped away, he's had opportunities to do so, to win the title, and he couldn't get the job done. And now, guys like him are real fighters because, like he said, he's not just there to fight contenders and things like that. He's there to win titles. And he's not going to stick around for 2 or 3 years and just fight and keep on slipping in the rankings. You could see him get slower earlier today against Max Holloway as the fight went on, and then he came in with like a flurry to try to get the job done, but he couldn't get the job done. And it happened in round 3, right? In round 2, he was very tired. You could see him starting to drop the arms. Then he came out in round 3 doing what you do as a fighter. And fighters, he may have done this because in his mind, he's thinking about retiring and he's going to let it all loose. But this is what you do, man. You don't go down and just slowly fall until you have no chance. If you start feeling like you're going to be put away, you go after it. And that's what the Korean Zombie did. And man, the crowd was manic earlier today. Check this out. As Max Holloway gets to finish, I don't know if you can hear the crowd, but the bottom line is they were going crazy for Zombie. It looked like he might get the win against Holloway, and then Holloway finishes it out of nowhere. Round 3 underway now. First 2 rounds crazy though, right? 74-59. Sorry, 70-45 in significant strikes. Oh, and Zombie's coming out fast here in round 3. Oh my goodness, he's got Max in trouble. He's got Max in trouble. Oh, Max lands a big right. Woo! Yes! And he jumps the octagon. He's hugging his wife, I guess, or kids maybe, I don't know. That's crazy. And Zombie came out on fire and the crowd erupted. And then Max got the KO and the crowd erupted on that. Wow, Singapore, lots of finishes. And he comes over to Zombie and gives him respect. A lot of respect there. Max Holloway, number 1. And you thought this was going to be an easy fight, right? But Max is a pure striker. And Zombie can strike too. Max led by about 15 significant strikes. He trailed by 13 head strikes, though. So Zombie was doing his thing. But in the end, Zombie swings in round 3. Max was in trouble, and then he just caught him with the right, and it was over in the blink of an eye. And you got to give it up to Max Holloway. He's walking into a very tough environment. Everybody wants to see Korean Zombie win because if he wins, you know what that means. He gets a title shot. And the crowd is going crazy. He's got that song when he comes in, and the crowd's chanting, "Zombie, Zombie, Zombie," right? They're doing all that. The crowd's going crazy, and Max Holloway's got to enter that environment. It's like any team that would go on the road, knowing that everybody there wants to see Zombie win, or at least 90% of the crowd, and he still holds firm and gets the victory. Max Holloway is the man, and he doesn't have a lot of options, right? I don't know what the next step for Holloway is, because it's like, are they going to let him fight Volkanovski a 4th time, knowing he lost the previous 3? So what does he do? He's still the number 1 contender. It's just, and Volkanovski's beaten everybody, and he's went up to lightweight and lost there. Maybe he does it again. If Charles Oliveira can get the win, even though, more than likely Islam is going to win the fight against Oliveira, but what does this do for Max Holloway? I just don't know what the next step is for him. I don't know what he wants to do with the future, because who do you fight, man? Who do you fight if you're Max Holloway? It's just not a lot of options. Right now, Volkanovski's still the champ. Max Holloway number one. So any other time, that's who's fighting. Yair Rodriguez has had opportunities. Brian Ortega is still trying, but he couldn't beat Holloway. You got Arnold Allen in there. That's a guy that's rising. Ilya Topuria is rising. Josh Emmett has fallen at number 6. He'll likely fall out of the top 10 in the next year if he even continues fighting. So you have a tough division. Not one of the best in the UFC, but certainly a great division ruled by a king, basically, if you will, in terms of fighting in Alexander Volkanovski. So not many options for Holloway. Last night you also had Anthony, or we used to saying last night, but it was early this morning. By the way, if you weren't up this morning, you're not a true UFC fan. I feel confident saying that since I was up at 5 a.m. today. I was up at 5 a.m. on the East Coast of the United States. It was an early morning, but it was great, man. The thing ends at 11, and I told my fiance, I said, let's just move to China, man. If we move to China, by the time you get out of bed, UFC will be over instead of it being at night every Saturday night. But that didn't go very far. Doesn't seem likely that's going to happen. In some other fights, Anthony Smith got a decision win over Ryan Spann. He's slowing down, but as I told you, he would win. Aaron Blanchfield looked great against Tyler Santos. They both look great. Aaron Blanchfield snuck out the victory. We'll take that as well. And, as you'll see in a little bit, it was a great night for crisscross picks, right? Not only a great night, but we got the main event. It's been a great year, and we'll look at that in a moment. Now, some other big finishes last night. You had Junior Tafa, not Justin Tafa, but Junior Tafa coming in at 4-1, taking on a veteran in Parker Porter. And I thought this would be the night that Porter gets a victory. Check this out. Parker Porter holds firm so far. He was wobbled a second ago, but now he's doing the right thing. Looking for the takedown. And still not 100%. But he's giving himself a break here. If you're Tafa, you want to push off. Got to dig the underhooks. He's got one with the left hand. Now he spins Porter back. Now this isn't good for Porter. Oh, Porter takes a big right. Oh, and another right. Oh, Porter's wobbled. He goes down. No. Justin Tafa with the win by KO. And Parker Porter looks dejected. And that's not good for him. He's going to fall to 14-9, yeah. Justin Tafa is going to move up, man. 5-1 now. That's a big win. Parker Porter loses a lot, but at the same time, Justin Tafa early in his career gets a big win by KO in Singapore. How many times did I say Justin Tafa? It's Junior Tafa, crisscross. It's Junior Tafa. Get the name right. It's not Justin Tafa. It's Junior Tafa. Whoa! And I mix those two up all the time. Because both names start with a J. It's just, you can get into the whole thing. It's just confusing. But Junior Tafa flattened Parker Porter, who said he came in some of the best shape of his life. He's dropping some weight. He felt lighter on his feet. It didn't matter. Junior Tafa is now 5-1. You also had Chitty, Bang Bang, and Joe Kuwani taking on McCall, Lexi Chuck. This fight was trending really hard before the fight, and it also had a dramatic finish. Ooh, what a nice takedown by Oleszejczyk. And Joe Kuwani getting off early. Chitty Bang Bang, but he gets taken down now with a minute left in the round. He's leading the round, though. But McCall's opening up here. And a nice elbow. Oh, come on, Chitty. He's not fighting back. Oh, McCall's opening up. He postures up now with some hammers. The ref's looking at this. Chitty's not fighting back. And that's it, man. Dang, Chitty. Dang, Chitty. Oleszejczyk gets the victory TKO style with 43 seconds left in the round. And, man, he was down heavy in significant strikes. Ended up leading 49-38. And Chitty's checking his face. He's going to be fine. Oleszejczyk gets the TKO. He led 49-38 in significant strikes. And this is in round one, ladies and gentlemen. He ends up getting a takedown, a minute 36 of control total, and finishes it that way. We look at the replay now. You got a leg kick by Chitty. McCall stumbles. And at this point, Chitty's up by 12-15 significant strikes. And then McCall opens up. Chitty comes in for the takedown. McCall checks it. takes a knee to the rib, but then lands the takedown on the off-balance Chitty. And from there, he pounds his way to victory. He's going to move to 19-6. And he does it with the hammers. That's how it finished up. Middleweight division. UFC, Singapore. Yeah, so another finish. A lot of finishes last night, but McCall, Oleksichuk, one or the other, gets a big KO victory, maybe a TKO, whatever that you want to call it. But he finishes Chitty, Bang Bang, and Joe Kuwani. And UFC Singapore had a lot to be excited about. And of course, they go to Paris next week. We'll get into some of those predictions in a moment. So the UFC is overseas, and it's always about this time of year they do this because football's starting, so they're going to get off early this week, kind of clear it up for college football. And then next week they're going to compete with college football from 12 to 7. But they also know that some of the big games are at night. So, let's get it over with in the daytime. So it's a good time for them to go overseas where fights are going to start much earlier. And, I welcome it.
He's gonna fight, he's gonna fight. Hold your breath till the end of the night. Last fighter call, UFC at its height. Bringing that thunder with all his might. Saying, step up, wanna fight? Hold up, think twice. Gladiator, assassin, reckless, no abandon. Walk through that cage, he'll leave your ass stranded. Wake up, hey, where you at? Hey, got hit in the head with a baseball bat.